Welcome back, everyone. This is Cody Hart for Government Accountability. It's July 26th. And I thought I would put this video out to help recap something that I was really thinking about last night and the last couple nights and week or so, and that is the progress and the advances in the election integrity fight in Washington State. Those who've been following me have seen that I keep finding new things, problems and concerns with the Washington election system. Most recently, the fact that we have security seals that are either being tampered with or that are faulty throughout Skagit County and that have implicated in the 2022 primary enough ballots to likely change the outcome of this election. We'll see where that leads, and I'll continue to follow that and fight for that issue. But what I thought I'd go over is where this really started. A lot of people are aware that I've been a government watchdog for years, going back close to 7 or 8 years now, somewhere in there. And I've been fighting against infrastructure fraud across Washington State. And I'm very proud of my efforts to help in a lawsuit against Governor Jay Inslee, who was convicted in the Washington State Superior Court in 2021, this last fall, of an impeachable offense, which is best described as infrastructure fraud and one of the largest frauds in Washington State history. I have information on that on my website for those who don't know that, but he is a corrupt dirtbag. But this video is to really go over my first audit report and the first real election integrity effort I put into my government corruption efforts. And you can find that on my website, codyhart.org. And at the bottom of my blog section, you will find downloads. I've left it there. And you'll find the full report. And I ended up putting a video of that report out. And for those who do not know, it was very popular. 20,000 views in that range on YouTube. And then about a month or so ago, YouTube, on its 5th attempt, had finally removed it, claiming it made false statements about elections. Well, luckily, we have other outlets out there other than YouTube. And so you'll find on my Rumble channel info from Cody Hart that I have posted the 2020 Washington election crimes and corruption video that used to be posted on YouTube. And that goes through an explanation of what I found in my audit report. Highlight some of the things that have changed since this report came out. First, let's talk and look at the reaction here from Skagit County Commissioners in response to that report.
Even though we don't have public comment, we did receive a quite extensive packet of information from a gentleman named Cody Hart, who is distributing some, information about concerns about election process, not only in Skagit County, but in other counties. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing to read something that is labeled as an audit and done under the pretense of being something good for us, where, I can't say much about it, but there's some legal background to it that has to happen, and it's part of an extensive public disclosure request from Mr. Hart. But it is in our packet, so it was part of the official public comment for today. So, and I do know that he is going from city council to city council, also spreading hate, discontent. So, was that not the appropriate way to say that?
That was dead on.
Okay.
Well, since that Skagit County Commissioners meeting and those very harsh words, which they seem to have been very defensive about me sharing publicly available information, they never disputed it. Nobody's ever disputed it, actually. They just don't want people to hear it. And they're probably the ones behind my YouTube complaints that got that taken off there. So what has happened since I put this out has been fascinating. I've been able to have the Secretary of State's office and multiple election offices through the state change their process. Now they electronically manipulate all the data to hide the late ballot data that I had exposed in this report.
And so in the past, they were entering, they're entering the date that they're issuing the ballot. It automatically does that. And then everybody started being like, what do you mean you're issuing all these ballots after Election Day? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look right, because nobody should be voting after Election Day. but we're issuing this new ballot so that the computer will accept it. And so now we have begun backdating everything to election day so that you don't have these kind of weird numbers out there of all these, 500 ballots being issued to people after election day.
What else did I tell people as a result of my late ballot analysis? I found out in my investigative efforts that we had an unreported break-in in early 2020 in the Skagit County Election Office. I also reported that Skagit County officials at the election office had destroyed hundreds of hours of just purchased video surveillance of the election system in violation of state and federal laws. I ended up having to report them, and they became part of a massive federal investigation, to my understanding, that has referred the Skagit County Sheriff, Don McDermott, to the Whatcom County Sheriff for obstruction of justice. And that also involves all the members of the election system for their corruption and corrupt actions during the election that I exposed. Then moving forward, I was amazed to find nearly 500 forged ballot signatures in Skagit County that were identified, yet nobody had thought to report them for criminal investigation. So I was able to report them, and to my knowledge, have been the person reporting the most significant number of forged ballots in Washington state history in one election. What else has happened is this initial report led me into the latent ballot analysis, which helped me find the ballot duplication problems that had confirmed that Skagit County had not properly counted military ballots, had essentially destroyed them in the 2020 counts. And I proved that. And I proved that the Skagit County commissioners who were part of that election certification, all the canvassing board members, had violated their oath and falsely certified the election. So they're all guilty, and I exposed that as a result of this initial report. What else happened? We ended up finding out that the Skagit County Canvassing Board actually had been hiding from the public that it was already identified as non-compliant with 2005 and 2008 laws for public meetings, for meeting minutes, for public comment and adoption of public documents such as the Canvassing Board Manual. What happened after that is, I'm proud to say, I was the first person to ever communicate formally with the Canvassing Board. I exposed that our Skagit County Democrat and Republican parties have not been monitoring elections, have not been assigning observers, have not, according to the Skagit County Republican Party chair, never even been to a logic and accuracy test in Skagit County. So they have now got the magnifying glass on them because of what this report was able to lead me to and expose. And they're all embarrassed because they have been collecting money for election integrity and not actually doing it. They have been lying to a lot of people. And I don't care what party, both parties are guilty of this. They both allowed this to happen. So what else has happened from this? We had the first Canvassing Board meeting ever recorded on video that has confirmed the public participated in it. We have had new adoptions of the Canvassing Board Manual. And the Skagit County Canvassing Board and employees at the office have now changed their process for the worse to hide the ballot duplication process details from the public and from public record, so we can no longer track that. Do I think we've fixed all the problems? Absolutely not. This system is a mess. I keep exposing them, such as the most recently issued videos on the ballot box security seals that are failing or been tampered with. I cannot overstate it. We cannot trust the system that I have exposed in Skagit County and throughout Washington state. But I'm so proud of being able to share this with everyone and to fix what I have been able to fix. So hopefully everyone continues to look at it. And I just wanted to reflect on it going into this August primary. That we know what they're doing to some extent. We know they're not trying to run a legitimate election system. They're trying to cover their tracks, and we keep catching them. So keep looking, make them earn our trust, and don't trust them until they do everything it takes to fix this system.